to my channel. It's JaChé Nicole. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And let's get started. Today I'm going to be discussing my BSW experience and also do a little story time. So yeah. So I entered into college in 2016. I graduated high school in 2016. I started college at Albany State University in August of 2016. When I entered into college, I was a pre-nursing major. And it's so funny about this because I told my mother I was going to Albany State and my major was pre-nursing. And she was like, JaChé, you're not going to like that. And I'm like, for one, I'm the type of person who, if my mom tells me to go left, I'm going to go right. Because, I don't know, I'm just like that. So I'm like, you don't tell me what to do. I have to figure out for myself. I'm also that type of person. Like, yes, I'll take heed to your advice, but let me walk my own path and figure out and develop stuff for myself. So, once again, I go through nursing, and I'm doing okay. I'm a little distracted because I have a distraction freshman year of college, but that's neither here or there. And I'm doing okay in school. I'm most freshmen, they're partying, they're doing this. I was going to school and I was doing my work, but I was not going to class. Like, I don't know, freshmenitis. But anywho, human anatomy, Professor Nicole Jones. I don't even mean to name drop her like that, but when I tell you, this professor is very revolutionary and she's like influential in my career path and the reason I am who I am today. She was very hard on her students, but she meant well. I had her in human anatomy for lecture and lab. Loved her. She was a beautiful lady. She was very smart. She was knowledgeable. She just wanted the best out of us. Now me, told y'all, had a distraction, barely was coming to class, but for some reason I was still doing very well on the classes, on the quizzes, on the assignments, all of that. But I was doing well, but the grades still weren't my best product. She called me into her office and she told me, JaChé, you are not coming to my class, but you are scoring higher than the people who are sitting in my class every day. You have potential. You need to apply yourself. But the problem with that was it wasn't what I wanted to do. There was no passion there. I couldn't apply myself to the field of science because that's not what my passion is. So then that happened around September, October. So here we are, take a career test the end of September. In ASU Career Center, they have you can go down there, figure out your life. I had to get my life together, literally. So in the meanwhile of me getting my life together, I take a career test and my scores come back to me that I should work with children and families. I should be a counselor, or I should do this, I should do that. So I'm like, I love children. I love children. Even when I was in the nursing field, I wanted to be a pediatric nurse practitioner. So I knew that I wanted to work with children. Whenever I did, I wanted to work with children. So I take this test and they tell me I want to be a counselor. I'm like, I thought back to my high school counselor. And I'm like, you know what? Miss Parker was also another influential person in my life. So I'm like, I can see myself being a counselor. I love education. I believe that everybody has the right to education. I believe that education is key in an individual's life. So I can see myself being a counselor and guiding individuals to their paths and their dreams. So then I switched my major over briefly to business marketing, but that only lasted about a semester. So now this is my freshman year spring semester and I'm a business marketing major, but I've taken this career test and I'm like, okay, I know I want to get there, but I don't know what yet. So I'm over the summer. I'm looking for some summer jobs. I go back home to Atlanta, But with me being back home in Atlanta, I knew that I needed to secure a job for Albany for the school year because I go back down there, and that's 2 hours away. So for the school year, I secured an after-school program job working with the youth of Albany. This was my wake-up call and my, hello, you need to do social work. I love the experience. A lot of the students there, they look up to me. They were confiding in me. They were, I was their big sister, even though I was their teacher. I was their after-school teacher. So it inspired me to become a social worker. So that's when my sophomore year, fall semester, so now this is 2017-ish, I changed my major to social work, and that's where I say in my previous video, Professor Johnson tells me, welcome home. And from then on, I knew that I loved social work. I took an introduction to social work class. I took a careers in social work class at Albany State, and that's when I learned about all of the different careers in social work, because to my knowledge, all I've known about was the defects workers, the people who take away people's kids, and the people who dish out welfare checks. So it was a negative connotation attached to social work. But once I walked into the classroom and I learned all about the careers of social work, I was just like, wow, I am where I am. I'm happy. This is what I enjoy. I'm giving back to people. I'm servicing people. Yes, I'm getting paid. And what they always say, the social work little motto is, it's not about the input, but it's definitely about the output. And I can agree with that. But on the same token, there are ways that you can make money in social work. So do not let anyone tell you or deter you from your dreams of becoming a social worker, because I have had haters and all of that tried to tear me down from being a social worker. But this is my passion. I believe this is what God has called me to do. Now, I switched my major to social work because of my after school experiences, and I tell you that my experience so far in the Bachelor's of Social Work program at Albany State is going amazing. Now, I love my cohort. We were all close-knit. We were fun, laughed, loved. It was literally like we cried together. It was everything. I love social work because it is such a in-depth thing. You take a look at yourself. You get to think differently, see things differently through your social work eyes and your lens. I just love it. At Albany State, we also took a class called self-awareness. And self-awareness is just allow you to take a look at yourself and see where your I'm super sorry. I dropped my microphone. See where your prejudices lies. See what populations you can't work with and why. See what discriminatories do you have against other people and why. And figure out how you could find ways to either get that out of your mind or to turn that off while you are working with your social work clients in your profession. Along with self-awareness, you had to look within yourself and see, how did I become a social worker? How did I land here? How did every aspect of my life get me to the position that I am now? So when I tell you, shout out to a lot of the professors at Albany State. I did eventually have to transfer from Albany State due to personal reasons. I left Albany State 2019. So from 2016 until May 2019, I was at Albany State. I love my HBCU. I'm from HBCU. Even though I graduated from Georgia State, I wanted to take my pictures from Albany State, all of that. So I am an HBCU through and through, all the way. But anyways, I had to switch gears and go to Georgia State University. Now, with me having the differences of going from an HBCU to a PWI, I must say that there were some huge differences. Albany State did the best that they could. They provided the knowledge. I would say that they equipped us. Albany State, they give their BSW students master level work. I kid you not. We were doing mastery level work on a BSW level. Our expectations are so high for the BSW students at Albany State that when I went to Georgia State, I was ahead. Like, so ahead where I was like, I knew they was like tripping and they were hard on us, but I believe that they were hard on us for a reason, because they wanted us to be the best of the best. And I thank them for that, because now that I went off to Georgia State, I realized that I possessed all of the skills that I needed to have to be a social worker. Now, like I said at Georgia State, there are some huge differences. Georgia State, for one, is in the city of Atlanta, so of course they're more populated, they have more resources, they're more funded, and it's just a different environment to me. There's more diversity, and it's just a different environment. Now, my BSW experience at Georgia State, I would say that it was completely different because I did not attend school on campus. I was an online student. And with me being online, I really didn't have that close connection with my cohorts like that anymore, like I did with Albany State. I have some close friends in my cohort at Georgia State, but they are not like how it was at Albany State. Now, Georgia State has the funding and the resources, as I mentioned before. So my internship experience, my field education experience that you're going to have to go through as a bachelor student of social work, which is an internship. They guarantee that you get an intern secured so that you can get your hours in and everything. And although I didn't experience the internship process at Albany State, I can definitely let y'all know that Georgia State has more resources and organizations that they are partnered with to accommodate your internship. With me being in Atlanta, I actually live on the outskirts of Atlanta. And since Georgia State is in Atlanta, but with them being so funded and having the resources, I live about 20 minutes away from Atlanta in Henry County, Georgia. I was able to do my internship in the place where I stayed. And that was all for the surrounding counties. They had it north, south, east, and west. If you lived any area of Atlanta or the outskirts and you attended Georgia State, you were able to do your internship in your city of where you live. Program, I would say that the education, it was there. The professors, I'm not going to rate the professors unless someone comments below and wants me to do a video on what are the social work professors like at Georgia State or Albany State. But I must say that overall, the experience was great. Now let's switch gears over to story time, because this is where I want to motivate mothers. Mothers. This is for y'all. Unexpected mothers who are in the field, even if you're not in social work, but if you're in college and you just ended up pregnant, like me, my senior year, do not give up, because you're going to cross that finish line. You're going to get there. So, senior year of my collegiate year, I fell pregnant. I said fell pregnant. But yes, I became pregnant with my baby. I found out that I was pregnant in December of 2019. This is the year I just switched to Georgia State. I came home to Atlanta, got my own apartment. Me and my boyfriend moved in together. Boom, baby. I'm in school, and I already knew that I was determined to get my degrees. I knew that I want to go on to get my MSW. I believe I want to go get my doctorate degree. So I'm like, doot. I got goals to catch. I got dreams, all of that. But a baby does not stop your goals. I am blessed to say that I have a strong support system. I have a strong partner, a loving partner who does his part, who helps out, and who allows me to do my schoolwork. Everyone in my support team on my in-law side, my family side, they all are a village. It takes a village to raise a kid. And even though with my support system, it is still hard. It is still hard to manage school and mom life, but it can get done with time management, and I will make a video on that. But like I said, I got pregnant December 2019, and we are in now the fall semester of what would be my junior year. My junior year. So I found out that I'm pregnant at the end of my junior year. So then, am I tripping? Yeah, I'm not really tripping. So it's the end of my junior year because spring semester is when we're doing our field education applications and interviews for the next semester, for the next school year, which would be my senior year, which is when I had my baby on my senior year. So in January, we're supposed to be interning, and I'm nervous because I'm like, I know that I'm pregnant. I haven't told my field instructor yet, my field liaison, who is my professor, but she serves as a liaison between me and my field education site. So I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so nervous. I haven't told her yet. So we go to our internships, which is our pre-interview. I'm sorry, not our internships. We go to our interviews, which is our pre-interviews, and we're going through our liaisons so they can make sure that our resume is up to date and everything. So I tell her then, I'm like, I'm pregnant, but I have a plan. And she's like, we're going to work with you. Shout out to her. But even still, I was nervous. So I was a server at the time. I was serving tables. And everyone knows that I'm in school to get for social work, and that I'm searching for an internship. So I'm working at this restaurant, and one of my friends, India, calls me, and she's the bartender. She's like, Shay, you need to get to work. It's a whole group of social workers sitting out here. And I'm like, me in my head, I'm like, it may be a group of random social workers. I mean, like, I'm on my way to work, but I'm like, it may just be a group of social workers. Like, I mean, I'm going to talk to them, but what are the odds are that those exact social workers were the ones that I interned with in the fall? I met directly with the supervisor. He was so loving and sweet and nice. And he gave me exchange cards, and he told me right then and there that he wanted me as an intern. And I was like, oh my God, I'm so happy. Like, now I just have my internships secured. Shout out to India. I still thank her so much for that to this day, because if it wasn't her, I would have still been driving like a little turtle in McDonough trying to get to work. But no, I sped that day because she told me to get my butt to work. Now, so we go, and we still have to, even though he accepted me as an intern, he still had to interview me, because that's the process of how it goes. So at my interview, I'm really, actually, I believe I wore this shirt. It's really cute. But I interviewed with Jeff. I interviewed with some of the other social workers, and at the end I said, well, I just want to be transparent with you all. I recently just found out that I was pregnant, and I mean, the baby is due in September of 2020, and I'm hardworking. I'm going to make it happen. I still want to be an intern for y'all. I hope this doesn't pose any problems for you, but if it does, I completely understand. Immediately, they showered me with love, was so happy for me and my baby, and they had this was my second encounter with them, and they told me that family is first. They were going to work with me. I'm going to get my hours, and that's when I just knew that social work was the field for me. So I just want to say that you can do it. It is hard because right now I am in grad school, and interning is hard when they're requiring for you to have 20 hours a week, and you're supposed to be working, and you're a mom, you have to feed your kids, and you have to do all of that. But God would not give you something that you could not handle. And even if you don't believe in God, the universe will not put an opportunity in your lap if you cannot handle it. So, moms, do not give up. Do not quit school. Do not let the haters deter you. Stay on your path. Stay focused. It's hard. I would say do not compare yourself to others, but it's so hard not to in this age of social media. But stay true to yourself. Don't forget who you are. Don't lose who you are. Love your kids. Take time to yourself. Take a break when you need it. And yeah. So that's all I have on my BSW experience and my little story time. If you have any questions, comments, or anything, please comment below in the comment section. Make sure you subscribe and also hit the bell for notifications when I do post. Also, let me know what kind of content you would like to see. I hope this video was informative and answered some of your questions. And if you have any more questions, like I said, please feel free to comment below. Thank you so much, and I hope you all enjoyed the video, and y'all come back and watch more videos. Thank you.
Girl, wet it all the time. Go come to me, baby. Yeah.